very kind. I know why you're happy. You're here in California. Exactly where it's warm. You know, this terrible cold has gripped a lot of the country. A terrible cold front has moved into New York. But enough about Hillary Clinton. Hey, I'm kidding. Oh, please. No, I'm kidding. But really, the people back east are suffering. It is very, very cold back there in New York City today. It was so cold, they could not get the elephant dung to stick to the art. I'm telling you, that's a cold... I guess you'd up about. Okay. Well, on to political news. I thought this was very telling today. John McCain running for the Republican nomination. I guess the #2 guy now. He says he never tried marijuana. And, you know, he was in Vietnam for 5 years, but he said the drug use in Vietnam... No, he said the drug use in Vietnam got popular after he was a prisoner of war. Although he did say that at one time he got so bored in prison, he did actually try to smoke a roach. So I guess speaking of smoking a roach, did you hear about Twisted Sister? No, I love the group, but you know, their song, I Wanna Rock, has been the theme song for pitcher John Rocker, you know, the controversial Atlanta Brave with all those comments that he made. And now Twisted Sister has said they don't want the Atlanta Braves to play their song when he comes out from the bullpen anymore. Their spokesman said that their music, Twisted Sister's music, is not intended for insensitive, narrow-minded thinkers. It's intended... It's intended for losers still living in the 80s. By the way, John Rocker himself said he doesn't care who they play when he comes out, as long as it's not Queen, Manhattan Transfer, or a foreigner. Okay, let's meet our panel. She is the author of 7 best-selling books on love and human relationships. Her new one is Secrets About Life Every Woman Should Know. Barbara DeAngelis. Barbara. Hey. How are you? Thank you for having me. There it is. There's your book, in case you don't know. Okay, she's a beautiful actress and one of the very talented VJs, a little channel called MTV. Ananda Lewis, yeah. Did I get that okay?
Yes, perfect.
Thank you. She's a fabulous Zimmer model and graces the cover of this month's Playboy magazine. Angie Everhart, ladies and gentlemen. He's an actor, comedian, and the fine star of Mrs. Brown and the Imposters. His new movie is The Boondock Saints, opening January 21st. Billy Connolly. Billy, how are you, sir? Okay. All right. Now, Barbara, your book, Secrets About Life Every Woman Should Know.
You're holding up the Playboy, didn't you?
Yes, but here's your book, Secrets Every Woman Should Know. I'm going to reveal a little secret every woman should know, but a lot of them hide. You want to get married very badly.
That's a big magazine.
I have to, let me show you. Look at from this. Okay? This weighs 5 pounds, and women say size doesn't matter. Look at this. I was just going to say that. Look at this. 1,270 pages of The Day You Want to Be a Princess. All I can say is, you know, in this country, there are certain things that are very hard for people to say nowadays because of the times we live in. It's hard to say, I'm a liberal. You know, it's hard to say, the court-appointed psychiatrist is my friend. And another one I think that people have hard to is, I want to get married. And I don't know why that is. Tell me,
No,
girls.
I agree, and it's because there's been, I think, a process of women being in the closet for the last 20 years, trying to come out and be independent, say they didn't need men, etc. I want a career, a man's not important. And I think it's true that for women, many women, to say, no, I want a man, I want to get married, it's important to me, felt perhaps it was going to be a liability. Then someone would say, you're not serious about your career, you're not serious about life.
You get busted by the union.
Yeah.
That's what happens. The feminist union, you get busted.
You know, you do get busted, and it's a shame because the truth is that women love men. You know, I love men.
We love men.
We love men, and there's only 2 of you here and 3 of us, so...
Yeah, but hang on a second.
I don't know if women want to get married or if they want to have weddings. I think
I think they'd like to have a wedding.
Every woman dreams about having
Have
a wedding.
a wedding.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
a week somewhere nice. And write it off.
Yeah.
You know, that would be better than getting married.
No, but he's right.
Well, what is it about that day?
Every single woman dreams about having that one day in the spotlight. I mean, I was married once, and it was the most beautiful day of my whole life. It's, you know, you grow up watching movies, and women are like getting married in that white gown, and it's so pure and innocent and romantic that we all dream about.
But
that.
I agree. Yeah, but I agree.
But it can be.
But the problem
really
first of all,
is.
it's not pure. You're never virgins when you do it. Were you a virgin when you got married?
No, I wasn't a virgin.
Was anyone? After 1940?
He's still a virgin. What are you talking about?
I think women have a hard time
virgin.
admitting they want to be married because of some of the things Barbara mentioned, as well as, I guess, for my generation, we've seen marriages not work so wholeheartedly throughout our whole lives.
Yeah, but it's interesting, though, because 20-somethings are actually getting married at younger ages than 30-somethings.
I was just about to say, I think now most of us want to prove that wrong.
It really is. It's the new in thing.
That's just because they're more
Marriage is
popular.
a very, very good thing. If you're in a good one, and a nightmare if you're in a bad one. I've been in a bad one, and I'm now in a good one, and the difference is radical. And I would advise anybody to do what
How long have you been in the new one?
It must be
6 months.
17 years.
2 weeks.
17 years for the new one, 12 years for the old one.
Boy, you're old.
I mean,
But you know, you're making a really great point, and I think the problem in this country is a lot of people want to get married, but, well, a lot of women, let's say, want to get married. They don't want to have a good relationship. Marriage isn't a ring. It's not a piece of paper. It's not a beautiful photo album.
People say that all the time. No. You hear people saying, "Oh, it's just a piece of paper," and it's not. It's a commitment. It's like a tattoo. You
can commit to somebody without having to go to the government and say, "Can we be married?"
Yeah,
sign this paper for
but
me.
Well, you're not really going to the government. You know,
but then you can't have a fancy party, and that is what a lot of women want, and it's true. The problem is that I meet women all the time who say, "How do I get a man to marry me?" Which I think is the wrong attitude. It should be, how do I get to be in a great relationship? How do I keep a relationship passionate and alive? Because the truth is, there's a lot of people out there who are married.
How do I make myself
who aren't in good relationships
all I can be, and forget about, how about just making this a complete circle instead of you complete
We don't want to do it all by ourselves.
I agree with that.
You do?
I agree with that because... I do. No, I do, because I think if you're good with yourself, you can be good for your partner. You know, my parents are still married. They are.
But I don't think there's a right way and a wrong way. I think
they're so wonderfully independent within themselves. You know, my mother's really happy, my father's really happy, and they bring something to their marriage.
Yeah, but if you're going to grow up a little girl with I've got 4 daughters, and they've all gone around in big long dresses, parading around, getting married as children, you know, the thing. And you're going to grow up. I don't know where they get it. They push prams.
From Bride magazine.
I don't think
it from here.
They get it from there.
Thing.
And I'll tell you.
Is there any groom magazine? No.
No, there's no. This is Groom magazine, right?
Groom magazine, as you say. Now, this magazine obviously depends on good-looking women, and someone who will never appear in that is Linda Tripp, who just recently resurfaced long enough to clear her blowhole, and she just, as we all... And I say that only to make Gloria Steinem mad, because Gloria Steinem wrote an article a couple of days ago in the paper, and it said it's unfair the way the media has treated Linda Tripp because they concentrated so much on her looks and not her acts, which I disagree with completely. She is a snake first and a cow second. I have always said that.
That's why we like her.
And this idea that women have to be judged harder on looks in the media, I think it's ridiculous.
Oh, because you're a man. Please, of course you think so.
Why? You don't think men get it bad, too?
No, I don't
Nowhere
think you
near
get it
as
half
much
as
women.
bad as us.
The men who are walking
Absolutely not.
around usually saying that, you know, they're not attracted to their wife anymore because she's 45 and has gained 30 pounds. These are guys with their bellies out to here and their thing hanging down the back,
Yeah, like,
and, you know.
You ain't seen a gym in a couple of months yourself. Yeah.
We're talking about the media. Gloria Steinem's talking about the media.
In the media.
She's talking about in the media. And I think in the media, men are as much attacked for looks as women.
Look at Donald Trump.
Rush Limbaugh was a big fat idiot. Can you imagine?
But that was Al Franken's wonderful book title for something that was, I mean, I don't think he actually was commenting on his weight, was he?
The title is Big Fat Idiot. I think that does bring attention to the weight.
word idiot. It was actually, you know.
I couldn't agree more. But if you look at Prince Charles's new woman.
Yep. Prince Charles with the ears. They make fun of him all the time.
Well, there he's got the ear thing going. And that woman is I forget her name.
Camilla Parker Bowles.
Camilla Parker Bowles.
Right.
And when and it was
not Bowles. Bowles.
Bowles. I said Bowles. Camilla Parker Bollocks. And Lady Jane Horrocks Bollocks, whatever her name is. I've seen her being appallingly attacked all by women who would have you believe they were feminists. How could he leave this beautiful woman and hang out with this old bag?
Right.
But she's a nice woman. She's a very pleasant woman.
Right.
And you can have a very beautiful woman and then you discover, you know, she collects Beanie Babies or something and you're stuck with this ding-a-ling who looks good. Right.
But I think part of the problem is that in our society, we're way too superficial. Period. About everything. We judge everyone on their looks. We sum people up in 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and you know only when they're at the extreme of a Mother Teresa do we suddenly forget how they look and say this is a wonderful person. But there's a lot of people in our
judged on her acts. She's not
right. But Mother
she's judged on the wonderful things that she does.
The truth is, if a woman, you know, I know for a fact that. For the three of us, you know, and you know, these are like these are
a don't in all the magazines that you see.
No, but the bottom line
is a don't on how not to get married. Linda Tripp.
Yeah, but it's not. It's yeah, but you know what?
Seriously.
But the truth is that.
See, now this guy's applauding anything you say because you're gorgeous. See, this is the problem. Wait a second.
I agree.
Wait a second. This is the problem because I know you a little bit and I know you're a smart person. But he doesn't care. You could have been saying, this guy would.
And the bottom line is.
And my point is, women do the same thing, but you don't admit it.
I do. I'll admit it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think women. I have never judged men I've been with on their looks. And
you know what?
Most women I know are not with men as attractive as they are.
Hang on a second. I have a question for you. Maybe not in the first. I have a question.
It really is.
Not in the first second when you first see somebody, you look at them and go, oh gosh, or oh. God, you know, if for 1 second out of your life,
I don't do
please,
it.
you can't say you've never judged somebody. I don't believe you for a second.
No,
I think because I've had too many bad. Have you done it once? Probably.
I don't care how good a person looks. If a man opens his mouth and nothing intelligent comes out, I couldn't care less how good he looks. If he has a great heart, that turns me.
Oh, but it's true sexually as well that women aren't really turned on visually and men are, right?
See, and it is genetic and he's correct. You know, men are much more visual.
Yeah, women never say, I love watching guys getting undressed and ready for bed.
Women actually.
We don't say it around you.
No, you know what? Women actually.
We had those conversations.
I love seeing a beautiful man.
Women actually like watching other women more than they like watching other men.
Yes.
And women, and this is a secret, women
And they
don't
dress for other women,
Women will
don't they?
notice what another woman's wearing, they'll notice her body, and women in studies would rather see another woman naked than a man.
Yes.
What were you saying there?
And I don't know who's the boy, the men or the women.
You know, I love seeing
The
beautiful
side of me
men.
likes that too.
Yeah.
I love seeing a beautiful man, but a beautiful man can be a doorknob in a matter of 5 minutes.
Yes.
But a guy who
The Beanie Baby factor.
exactly, and a man who has intelligence and a sense of humor and whatever falls in the category that keeps your attention. You know, it's not that we judge people constantly on what they look like. If you're good looking, you get you in the door. If you're smart, you stay in the door. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll come back to that door. Let me tell you.
later this week on Politically Incorrect, when Bill's guests will include singer Patti LaBelle, from The Contender actress Joan Allen, and actors Jeff Bridges and Sam Elliott.
All right, we were talking about getting in Angie's door. Listen to this. Here's what it takes, because they ask you right here in the article. They say, what would it take? There was a guy need to get your attention. You say a sense of humor.
You got that.
And security with himself. I like confidence, not cockiness. Here's the part I like. The kind of guy who has abs, but isn't afraid to cry. Now, show that picture of me. We got that. There you go. Angie, you know what I had to do to get those abs?
You had to do what Linda Tripp did.
Yeah, exactly. No. But let me... I don't want to make this a theme show on, pointing about when women are full of it, but, women, I never believe it when they say they like it when a man cries.
Oh, please, yes, we do.
Are you kidding?
Yes, we do.
It's not that we like it. It's just it's not something we see every day, and we feel sorry for you guys. You know.
No. You know why we're not, Bill? Because it means that a man is in touch with his emotional side, which men in particular in this society are told not to cry, that it's some masculine thing, which is a bunch of bull. And the reason I think men commit more violent crimes than women is that they can't get any of that out. They have all this anger, they have all this emotion, they're told not to express it from this big. So what do?
I don't trust a man.
When a man cries in front of a woman, he usually trusts that woman enough that he can cry in front of him, right? That's what women like.
Let me ask you
It depends on what they're crying
How many times
about,
a year would you say would be the right amount of times a year for a man to cry? No, let's get into this. Really?
It's
When was
about
the
him
last
feeling
time you
comfortable
cried?
enough to go there when he feels
Twice
like
a
he
week?
needs to.
When was the last time you cried?
What happened?
When was the last time I'm the easiest cry at almost any movie. I never cry in life, very rarely. But
I do too. I cry all the time at movies.
Movies the
so
worst.
we like you both.
My children sneak round in front of me to watch it happening. They'll put on Lassie movies.
Because you know what?
Little House on the Prairie. I've cried at Little House on the Prairie. I have.
Don't admit that.
Men crying.
That is the biggest trap. They say, we want you to cry. Men, don't do it. I'm telling you, you cry in front of them. You're a crybaby.
No,
they don't want anything to do with it. They do not want a crier.
Now, ask the women in the audience how many. If
Oh yeah, they'll say they want it.
They do want it, unless the man's crying because his team lost the football game and because
there's a line.
his issue of Playboy was sold out. Then that's not acceptable.
What would be okay to cry about in front of you?
Death on any level?
If one of your parents is really ill and you're afraid of losing them, if one of your kids
if your mother dies, I'll give you that one.
If your kid is going through something,
I'm asking you, how often could a man cry?
It depends on
See, I
what's
think a
going on
man
in
can
his
cry
life.
once.
Once?
Once.
No way.
Yeah.
Well,
More than that, you're a crybaby and you're out of
But
there.
this is why you're not with men and women. That's it. That's it.
I went to a funeral once, and it was a father of a friend of mine. I never met the man in my entire life. I never set eyes on him in my life. And I was crying as they were lowering him into the ground. And I don't care.
It's the willingness to be moved by life and not denied.
You're from a
jolly thing.
You're from a culture that wears skirts.
Tears.
No.
Well, you know what? If that's the case, cry right now. And that's it. I think I see tears coming down his face.
So not right.
Tears are the heart.
God help it.
Tears just mean that the heart is opening. You can cry from joy. You can cry from sorrow. You can cry from compassion for things that are going on in the world.
It's the same.
It's a release of energy.
Tears are a form of orgasm, Bill.
Women want...
Not for me.
Wait,
let's stay on that thought.
It's the same as orgasm crying.
And sometimes men cry when they...
Any men want to admit that?
I knew.
Yeah.
Okay. The women are admitting it for the men. There it is. They're telling you.
And sometimes women cry when they don't.
We have to take a commercial. We'll be right back. All right, tomorrow, Bill Goldberg, Adam Adam Carolla. Oh, good, I love Adam. Tracy Gold and Representative Jack Kingston. And go out and get both of these publications and use each of them for the various purposes in your life.
Take it. First Coast